Hi Pisces. Just in time for a nice little thunderstorm. This is your September 2024 reading, Virgo season reading, and all information to work with me one-on-one is below. It's a little bit easier now. My website is now there, and all the links to get in touch with me are below. Let's get right into your reading. Oh, the Patreon extended link will also be the first link below. While I shuffle, thunder and lightning, rain, abundance, intuition, moments unexpected moving forward. That's what we're looking at here. That is also the name of the game here. I'm doing a reading under the full moon in Aquarius this month during Leo season, the season of the inner child that happens to fall for Pisces risings. You'll have the 7th house will be your committed partnerships in Virgo. Leo will be in the 6th house of work. So this may affect work. Your feelings about work make it very clear what your feelings are in your relationship, especially the one you have with yourself, the one you have with joy, pleasure. What your pleasures have been, what your commitments have shown you is how much you've changed or how much is changing. We're going to have the eclipse in your sign, and it'll then show you the truth of what's changing, and what maybe at this time what's casting a shadow is just preparing for you in the full moon. Moments where we find that are our low points, moments where we are not exactly knowing where we're going next, moments where we think we've lost something, and maybe you have. Maybe there was a relationship lost one way or another. Maybe there was a part of you that was avoiding moving forward because you would have to deal with this specifically. This is a lot of cards. Look at these. Look at these cards. These cards, okay. We're going to start with these. So, the reason why there could be so much resistance to moving forward is that there is so much good fortune on the way, but it is going to have you become very vulnerable to your authenticity, to yourself, to others. It's going to give you space, right? This luck, walking right into luck. Moving right into luck after a time where it may have felt very dark, very lonely, very the opposite of expansive. It's been constricting. And yes, there still is that. There still will be that along the way. Aquarius, Saturn ruled, Uranus ruled, but Aquarius is now, we're under that full moon, and you may feel a turn at this time. This will be out after that, but during this time and this week, this energy you will feel, and that's where we're at, that the sense of clarity is coming around. This is actually really good for me because I tried doing this multiple times. I was like, what is going on with me? And then I prayed a little, and then here we are. Your structure may need to start spiritually more than anything. Wherever you're building, whether it's you're building a side gig, a business, or you're in creation, you're building a relationship, you're building a deeper relationship with yourself, that is going to instantly connect you to anything that has felt like it's externally been filling that hole or that void from deepening your connection with your relationship with yourself, which is your relationship with spirit and God in one way or another, and however you want to take that. This month is revealed to you that what you've needed to see, if you've been thinking about money or love or relationship, Venus has been sitting across from you and won't move until we enter Libra season. So regardless, even, there's this overhaul, there's this desire, there's this part of your nature that is surrendering to what you've committed to, what you're choosing right now, as opposed to what you idealized before. And this mental clarity is coming from you surrendering to whatever pain or body ailment you may be feeling, because if you're coming into this time and feeling something specific, it's really important that you listen and you take care of yourself in the ways that you've needed to. But it's also about having a clear view too, right? Do you want to get better? And it starts in that sense, like, do you want to feel better? Yes, you want to feel better. Okay, I'm going to give you opportunities. Life's like, okay, I'll give you opportunities where you can advocate for yourself, where you can feel better about yourself, where you speak up for yourself, where you move forward regardless, that you feel confident in yourself, that if you keep doing this consistently, whatever your idea is, it will even be better than that. You'll create a structure and a foundation for more to come through, and maybe you didn't even realize that. Maybe some of you do think that way already, but maybe that got you into trouble or that caused something to fall apart. That doesn't mean you're not meant to have that again. It doesn't mean that that's going to make you the same person. How you are shaped from that experience will then show you who you are as you move forward into the next experience, where there is a big idea, a bigger level of abundance, a huge drive to move forward. And you needed to feel, and your ego needed to shift in this way in order for you to learn this, because you learn the way you learn. Everyone learns in the way that they learn, and yours, eventually, it's about moving through your emotions to accept truly who you are. And any way that you choose to work and you choose to present yourself in this world will be healing to, in some regard, to someone, because being around you is that way. But the more that you even connect with that authentic part of yourself, and even with the part of yourself that will be surprised, there will be surprises, whether they're negative or positive, you will then decide how they shape your world. You will then decide how you put them into action, how you communicate them, so how you communicate yourself to the world, how you communicate to just even the people that who you deeply connect to in this life. Wherever you felt stunted in those connections, you're now able to have a breakthrough with those as well. But it might not be right away, right? But you will have a series of moments that will keep you going even more, because what's opening up for you is something maybe you didn't realize, something unexpected, as we've been talking about. And it's funny because we have the Hierophant and we have the Emperor out. We have the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. There's so much prosperity. There's so much abundance. And your body is, at this time, clearing things out of your system, having you accept and transform them so that you can be open to this new way of life, open to moving forward into this abundance. And if this isn't what you felt in a long time, it could feel like, oh no. My ego can feel like, oh wait, can I indulge in this? Oh wait, I want to indulge in this way now. Things are clearing up. I want to indulge in this way now. This is where I fill my cup. You may be given and maybe need to be open to be given. Be open to be given to an opportunity this month that will shape years to come. Even if it feels like there's this moment that will feel, and you'll know when you need to move forward, when enough is enough. And it'll almost feel like unreal, or like a movie, or like this moment where you're just finally like, okay, how long has this been going on for? What is important now? I really am connecting with this different way of life. I'm able to envision something different for myself. My self-worth is upgrading. I'm getting ways in which I can transform that. And yet all I want to do is work on my craft and continue to build for the future. And Pisces, that's exactly where Saturn is getting you to. Know that you're so powerful that whatever you're envisioning at this time, whatever you're going through at this time, is getting you to connect to that commitment. Where do you see commitment? How do you see commitment? How can you make it simple? I think what you're realizing is simplicity is where really what you're headed for. You can be very simple with your look. You can be very simple with your surroundings. You can be very simple with you like this, and everything is very clear what you like and the quality that you like and who you surround yourself with, but as you move forward, you have to be willing to let go of some things, some people, some relationships, or the way you've related to people, the way that commitments were formed and shaped. Just needed to give them a moment. Usually I do. This time it felt a little bit bigger. But it always gives everyone the same moment, of course. What you're realizing is that you're coming into a safe place during this retrograde with what your future is and how you connect to your day-to-day life. That whatever that you're allowing yourself to envision at this time or connect to in the future is going to show up here in the present moment in a way in which, if that's what you're going for, then right now in this moment I'm connecting you with this, because that's going to get you one step closer, especially if that desire is pure, especially if it's not just about your ego, it's about what you really want and desire in this lifetime and what you're going to connect to and how you're going to shift this and how your emotions stay steady, because your emotions and your money are on the same, are balancing each other out. And what you've been learning through this process, maybe the heart detox of your own, is that this is shifting perhaps your identity, and it feels uncomfortable because you may not know, but it's uncomfortable because it's bringing so much more to you. It's like, okay, we got the opening and life's like, great, but you still need to continue to take one day at a time, one step forward, keep working on your craft every day, even with all this abundance happening, all of what you're welcoming in, whether it's collaborations, connections, because if there is an Aquarius, or you're talking about marriage around the full moon with a Taurus, or you're talking about commitment and connections with an Aquarius or a Taurus, or how you're moving on from your past from a Leo and you move forward maybe towards someone who's more Aquarian or Taurian or even Aries. Either way, they're very strong, prominent people, figures, who, the more you get clear with yourself, that's why you're meeting types of people like this, because they're very clear and certain of their self. Their stubbornness or their opinions define them. The way that they move forward defines them. And I don't mean defines their identity completely, but it makes them more defined in life. That's why when people are more defined in what they want and what their values are, regardless of what they're looking for materially, what their values are, the more clear they are to see, to recognize, to relate to. Their communication isn't fuzzy. Yeah, we all go through our moments, but you meet people who know what they want. And you just may, you may just run into a couple people this month who are prospects, and you just have to see and kind of take it one day at a time and build from there and continuously work on everything, because working on everything that you need to and that's important to you, as much as you can every day and put that energy in, that's what builds longevity. That's what builds legacy. That's what builds what you're looking to build. This is that identity shift with you really clicking. This is really what you want? Okay, then these are the steps. It's a day-by-day thing. Nothing changes drastically in a day. It's over time where it's finally shifts, where you're giving and you're doing this from a place where it doesn't feel like work anymore, especially for yourself. Giving yourself the time and the care and the energy expands so much for you. I'm excited to get into the next part and dive deeper into all of this, which we will, but this is about your foundation, your connection with not only how you feel on a day-to-day, but your heart-centered values, and how whatever you've been doing and speaking about, whatever's not adding up, is because there's something within the structure that maybe you've only been focusing on physically, and you need to be developing that in a spiritual way. This is where you connect the spiritual and the physical. This is where you start to believe in yourself even more, because maybe you've just been mentally blocked. There's been a mental block around what you're able to have, because maybe you again had a lot, or you came into a lot, or you started with an abundance, and that you are associating that with a certain time in your life. And in order to come back to that place, you need to transform how you felt about yourself at that time with who you are now, and how that connects with you now, and how you are with all of this now. And before that abundance can come in, let's say that it's money. For some of you, it's love. It's being secure with who you are, being set up for money. Do you have a budget in place? Does money feel safe with you? What do you mean by that? Do you impulsive buy, or do you think about it and know that, and like wait and see? Or is it everything always like right now, right now, right now? Virgo season will slow that down for you, or make you extremely aware of what you're impulsive about. If you're impulsive about love, it looks like that is a part of the ego here. Maybe you slow it down. Maybe you trust your intuition. You know this person will probably be in your life, but let's just slow it down. And a person will respect that patience. Someone who loves you will respect that patience. And maybe you have to clarify for them, you know, this is just where I'm at. I know that I like you. Maybe I'm committed to you, but I'm working every day for goals that I have, and I need you to meet me where I am right now. And that's respect for yourself. That's respect for what your requirements are moving forward. Because in order to create this opening in your life, you have to be willing to see it. And, you know, eclipse season's like, whether you like it or not, I'm coming in, knock, knock, knock. And if this was at a different time and you had this idea and you had this connection and you wanted to make it happen, you want to bring it to life, says the Emperor, you need to be able to deeply believe in yourself and believe that it's possible emotionally, because then you'll come up to a lot of you're going to come up with emotional obstacles anyway, but you'll come up against a lot of emotional obstacles, just like in any relationship in the beginning, so quickly, right? If you're wanting to rush things or make something happen, or just because you want this or just because you want that, but now you realize there's so much realization coming around your worth and what you're worth and how much energy and time you put into things, and giving things patience, letting things grow. That is the world that you're entering. That's the world you want to continue to enter, because then you will attract and begin to attract and see things as you are, because you're no longer in a distorted reality. Because you decided to take and have the courage to move forward regardless if it didn't feel good in the moment. Regardless if you had the support in the moment. You just know something about what you're connecting to now, and it shows you right away. The ability to face that right away and walk away from something that looked very shiny but wasn't for you brings you so much magnetism in the beginning of the month, and you want to learn to understand how that you can have more longevity in that, and that makes there's so much more grace. There's so much more possible now from this space and from this confidence and from this understanding. And for a lot of you, it will alleviate some worries, maybe even pain. You may even have an emotional release from this, especially in the brain and the mental arena. Connecting deeper to your intuition. If you've been relying too much on the linear, your right brain becomes more of a focus and demand to bring in and bring forth the energy that's trying to come to you. For some of you, it's also about a raise. Like, you may get a raise really quickly, or a promotion really quickly. You may want to take it right away, but again, take a moment, understand why is this quick, because they're not. Like, take a look at what's going on, see if you're a good fit for that position. Maybe you say, can I have 90 days to decide, like, get into the role, figure it out. Because you're finding that the more that you're in that co-creation and you're honest, the more people were willing to work with you too. You find that like the less rigidity that you have with things that you haven't actually talked about out loud or given space to be acknowledged, you don't realize how many people are willing to work with that. And just be careful of people who say they will, but they're not really. Like they seem like they're giving you freedom or giving control, whether you're working with someone or you're deciding to be more independent in your relationship. There's something that you need to achieve independently, and they say that they're fine with it, but it turns out that they're kind of not, and they're thinking about things. Well, the more that you're open with communication, hopefully, the more that they are. And if they're not, you're able to understand that and move forward in a way that makes sense for you and your emotions, because you realize that if you keep giving too much energy in a space, in that space, it will continue to fester, and you can't be the only one doing it. But this is giving room to a more independent space, but at the same time connecting deeper. If you have a partner, more than likely there's a deepening of connection, maybe an engagement, maybe there's marriage coming, maybe they're talking about a family and growing together. For a lot of you, that is a really deep connection, and you moving on from deep wounds, and it's huge for you. So Pisces, be proud of yourself for being honest with yourself. If there is an Aquarius in your life, there may be a lot of luck building around that. I do think for some of you this is about what's really shifted from 6 months ago until now, and kind of enforcing that you made the right decision, even if it doesn't appear to be in this moment. You made the right decision, you did what you needed to do, and now this is not the time to break. This is the time to continue. This is, I know it can get hard, but are you committed? Can you put everything into this relationship, into this job? And that's where it starts to transform, and that's where the opportunity comes from, either you or from somewhere else or out of nowhere. And all of a sudden you feel more in control of your dream. I know it sounds crazy, but this is like a beautiful reading, Pisces. There's a lot to move through. There's a lot to, face head on, but I think that that's what you're ready for and wanting to experience and you're capable of. And yeah. But at the end of the day, it's still about day to day, working day to day, no matter what luck comes in, no matter what you receive from this, no matter what comes from this, every day you're consistently working on the goal that you have in mind, being present, but being realistic, and at the same time creating your dreams. I mean, this is a new beginning, an identity shift, and also letting go of whatever's been holding you back. I look forward to getting to the next part, Pisces. All information to work with me is below. We'll get right into it. I'll see you there.